Okay, welcome to Words in Context. Now, this is basically where those SAT vocabulary words come into play. And if you had hours and hours of time, could you memorize the words? Absolutely. What we're going to learn is as we read the passages to kind of figure out where the words come. Now, remember, 3.1 is the foundations. So these really are words that'll get you to the 500, 525 level. In 6.1, the words will get harder, and then I don't have something planned yet for the hardest words, but the strategies are still going to be the same. So let's talk about the strategies. Reread around the word. So kind of it's literally word in context for a reason. We're going to get why the other pieces are around the word. We want to make sure that we match tone and style. Does it sound like things are agreeing? Then we need an agreeing word. Does it sound like contrarily or there's things disagreeing? Then we need something that disagrees. We want to ignore simple definitions, everyday definitions. If it's usually not the first definition that we think about. Remember, words can have multiple definitions and even multiple pronunciations. Reading a book, READ, is also like I read a book, READ, right? So if it's too simple, I mean, don't underestimate your knowledge of vocabulary, but it's usually not the everyday meaning. For example, blue as a color, BLUE, like blue as a color would not be probably the answer. But I'm feeling blue or I'm feeling sad or down is not an everyday way of using the word blue. Substitute each answer in if you're stuck, and then eliminate near synonyms. If two of the answer choices kind of mean the same, they're probably not the right answer. All right, I'll see you soon. All right, let's take a look at our first question. Remember, the first three questions, we go a little bit slower, and then for the next video, we'll go a little bit faster. So I always like to look at the prompt first. So here we have as used in the passage. So that means context. It's going to be a different word. The word subdued most nearly means. So let's read. The painter's latest exhibition surprised critics who had expected bold colors and dramatic contrasts. Instead, the canvases displayed a subdued palette with gentle shades and gray and muted blues. Quiet tones created an atmosphere that encouraged long, thoughtful viewing. Several reviewers praised the work for its calming effect on the audience. So, what could subdued mean? Well, subdued, restrained. Restrain is, and when we subdue a person, the police, like that is to calm them down, to restrain. So that could be a choice. Dark. Well, muted blues isn't necessarily dark. It's kind of chill blues. So it's not going to be this one. It's not going to be lifeless because it's like, why are people watching stuff if it's thoughtful? Like, that doesn't make sense. And ordinary, they wouldn't be surprised. So in this case, A is our best answer because it most accurately reflects calming what was expected. All right, let's look at our next one. What word are we looking at? Which choice completes the text? So we're going to fill in the blank. When the town faced a sudden shortage of clean water, volunteers worked tirelessly to distribute the supplies. The mayor's speech emphasized cooperation, urging citizens to support one another. Her tone was both hopeful and blah, reflecting determination to overcome a crisis. Observers noted that her leadership steadied the community at a difficult time. So hopeful and. Now, sudden shortage, worked tirelessly, cooperation. So it's got to be something that, like, let's just do it. So apathetic. Apathetic means lazy. So hopeful and lazy? No. Hopeful and resolute. I think of a movie from probably 20 years ago called National Treasure. I think it was the second one where there was a resolute desk from the Queen's office, and it was just very established. So resolute is probably going to be the right answer. Indifferent, I think all of us could say, like, no, like people need water. Being indifferent, like not caring, isn't the correct answer. And hesitant doesn't make sense either. If people need water, there's urgency to it. People aren't going to be like, no, man, I'm not going to help. So in this case, resolute is the best answer. Let's look at number 3. We're looking for arduous is the word we're looking for, arduous. Now, if there is a time, and I guarantee you I'm going to mispronounce some of these words, who cares? Okay. We can even say, as used in this passage, the word arty means. If you don't know how to say a word so it just is easier for you to understand so that you don't get caught up on not knowing how to say the word correctly. Though the mountain trail appeared easy, and look at how it says though. Though is one of those words like however, contrarily, like it's like, come on now. Appeared easy from the base, hikers soon discovered that it was arduous. So it appeared we're at the base of a mountain, we're looking at up, and we're like, oh, we can handle that. And then all of a sudden, now if you don't know what arduous is, just think about it. Let's see what the next sentences say. Context. It went steeply upward, there were loose stones, and the footing was treacherous. Even experienced climbers paused, often to rest and catch their breath. At the summit is the top of a mountain. However, the view rewarded their persistence. So, as used in the passage, the word arduous means A, dangerous. Maybe it's going up steeply. The footing is hard. They had to take breaks. So, A sounds possible. But it doesn't have other words yet. So let's keep looking. Exhausting. Exhausting kind of makes a whole lot of sense, right? Because even experienced people had to pause. So there wasn't anything about them falling off or they had to wear safety gear, which is probably what would go if dangerous is the best answer. So exhausting now is probably in the lead. Dangerous is a close second. Confusing. Well, there was no mention of getting lost or needing maps or anything like that. And lengthy is a simple word. So it's probably not going to be the correct answer. Remember that we always want words that seem, like it doesn't say the path was so long it took them forever. It said the path was so steep. So lengthy isn't the best. So I would say between A and B, those would be maybe the maybes. The C's and D's would be the cross-offs. So then we have to go back. Okay, what would make it dangerous? Like we talked about, they needed safety gear. They decided to turn back because someone could get injured. None of that was mentioned. So exhausting is the best one. And we get that because they had to pause to rest and they had to catch their breath just because it was so treacherous. All right, see you soon.